Hey everyone, welcome to a very special edition of Be Our Guest. My name is Dev Janke. I am the artistic director of Live and in Color. And for those of you who don't know who we are a not-for-profit theater based both in New York and Connecticut. And our mission is to develop new plays and musicals that promote and celebrate diversity. To find out more about us, please check out our website, theaterincolor.org. And you can search everything you want to know about us. Those of you who are looking forward to our conversation with actress and activist Anisha Sheth that was supposed to go live last night, don't worry, Anisha's interview will be rescheduled very soon, and I'm very excited about talking to her. Live and in Color really strives to create safe spaces for all our artists, and tonight we'd like to dedicate this time to amplifying melanated voices. Our company really stands in solidarity with the Black Lives Movement now and always. So before I bring on our very special guest, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions for her, please share them in the comments and we'll try to get them to them later. And if you have any friends that want to ask some questions, please share the live stream on your Facebook page now. And now, without further ado, I'm so excited to bring a dear friend and collaborator and Live and in Color alum to join us. She has been dominating stages across the country and on Broadway in shows like Amazing Grace and Book of Mormon. And she is also a prolific playwright, and we'll be talking a lot about that this evening. Please welcome the amazing, the stunning, the brilliant Laiona Michelle. Hello,
hi everybody.
Oh, where are you?
I am in my car
Going
traveling.
where?
I'm going to North Carolina, and I'm going to just sit still so I can have some quiet time to do some research and work on my pilot that I've been working on since all of the coronavirus jumped into our world. I had so much time to sit still, but I still needed to even quiet the voices even more. So I chose to go to North Carolina, Winston-Salem, and to be with a dear friend of mine who will be hosting me for the next week as I bury myself in the work.
That's
the much
wonderful.
needed work and the much need quiet the noise. Yeah. So I'm
How
excited.
has this period been for you? It sounds like you've been being very creative.
Yeah, it's been oh boy, it's been a roller coaster of a journey. I For those of you who don't know, I'm a new mom. I have a 5-year-old son who's actually traveling with me as well. And for all those moms out there, you feel my pain because we're all teachers these days. We've been doing all of his schoolwork online and uploaded, and he's in kindergarten. And so this is one of those transitional years for him, a big one, losing his mom and our lives merging together in a space for healing. So when this coronavirus hit, it really took us by surprise. But we're finding time right now to travel a bit, and I'm immersing him inside of the arts in my work, and he's learning so much as a 5-year-old. He's so aware. So I just feel tremendously blessed to be a mom in this chapter of my life.
Well,
Yeah.
If anyone is a great mom, I'm sure you are. This has been a real big year of transition for you, just in terms of a lot of things, which is so exciting. And
so exciting.
And writing so much. I mean, talk a little bit about the title you've been working on.
Well, before I go any further, Deb, I just want to say thank you for your platform. And thank you for sharing it with me. The work that you are doing with your company is incredible, and it's your Live and in Color gave me the boost I need, and you gave me some foundation there. And a lot of artists are looking for that, searching for that and begging for that, even a platform where they can go and for someone to take on their body of work and believe in them and understand where we're coming from, understand the messaging and the branding and all of that. So I thank you. I think it's very brave of you to do this kind of work, because oftentimes this is not the work that makes all the money, but it is the work, I like to say, that saves the souls. And you're doing that. So bravo to you, and bravo to all the new artists who are making a breakthrough through your company. We all got to do the work. We just got to keep doing the work.
That's a big
So
thank
thank
you
you
so
for
much for
that.
saying that. Well, you are family. You are now forever attached to us. So thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
about you. So what? Talk about the pilot a little bit.
Okay. So I'm doing a pilot. My sister passed away a little over a year ago, and she wanted to be a point ballerina dancer, and she's my baby sister. We're 20 years apart, night and day. And she had so much fire, so much passion. Um, so it hit us by surprise when she was hit with brain cancer, and it was one of those things that you look at someone who got so much life, and they're only 23 years old, and they're questioning God, and rightfully so, and it's also confusing. It was also during a chapter of my life where I was diving right into Little Girl Blue, and she really was my muse during all of that, feeding off of her energy and giving her voice. She was that little girl blue that Nina Simone sings about. She's been a fire in my belly that keeps me going, even on those moments that I didn't even want to go on stage, didn't feel capable or even strong enough to open my mouth and sing a word. Even when my voice was cracking, and I judged all of that. But Nina produced some of her best work in her cracks,
Yeah.
in her bumps and bruises. And so I think the show has been such a gift for me. And so my gift to my sister is writing this pilot that's loosely based on her life and my family's life. It's a dramedy.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's mostly drama, but during those dark hours of life, you got to catch your breath and laugh at the same time. So it's just been healing, and I think I have the most hilarious family in the world.
They are the most loving and they're the most hilarious. I've met most of them, and they are a perfect sitcom.
Yeah, a little bit crazy, but a
I
whole
love
lot of
them to
love.
death.
Whole lot of love, a little crazy. Yeah.
Are you
So
are
yeah,
you are you focusing a little bit on her wanting to be a ballerina? Is that part of
yeah,
it?
that is a thread in the show. Yeah.
That is so wonderful because I was a ballet dancer, and
I know.
for brown people, it's a big thing to want to do ballet because it's
Right.
considered a very European white art form. That
That's right.
So I can't wait to see this. I'm going to be watching. I can't. Hopefully, you'll let me
That's
see a little
right.
sneak peek of it at some point.
Absolutely. And that's my whole formula, is making room at the table for everybody to eat. And that's really what Little Girl Blue was all about with
I
Nina
just want
Simone
to
musical.
explain to our viewers, in case people don't
Yeah.
know, Little Girl Blue,
Yeah.
the Nina Simone musical, is a love child of Leona's that was
Yes.
created. We developed it live and in color. That had last year had a sold out run at the George Street Playhouse. It opened to critical acclaim, and Leona wrote it and starred in it, and I worked on it with her, with our collaborator Mark Pfeiffer, and um, uh, it's a we were very excited to be part of it, and very excited to be part of George Street Playhouse. Um,
Yeah.
um,
It was a labor of love. It really was a labor of
yeah,
love, and I felt very lucky to have George Street. Hi, George Street. That whole entire family there take this piece on, because, as you know, Dev, when you're a new writer and you're trying to push something out out the door, it's tough for someone to take it on if you
yeah.
haven't been haven't had that first round at the table before. And they were so generous with me. They're trailblazers. I say it all the time. And I think that all the new writers who come through David Saint's program are really lucky, because they surround you with so much support and love, and they make the space so safe. And a show like Little Girl Blue, the Nina Simone musical, there was a lot of heat already around it in a lot of theaters. I think probably got afraid to touch the piece. As you know, when she was living, that was like a no-no. She said a lot of the things that people were not saying
Well,
out loud.
which is a great segue because for those people who don't know, Nina Simone was a great artist and classical pianist, and dealt with a lot of racism in her time, and ended up being a sort of major civil rights activist. And as we and the show Act One is set in 1968. Right after Martin Luther King is shot, and it takes place at a concert where there are protesters outside. Who would have thunk that it would have such resonance right now, right?
Right. So relevant. Yeah. But Nina Simone, she's always been so timeless with her music before her time. Just, with all of her music. If you just listen to the lyrics, boy, oh boy, she was really beating the pavement when it wasn't popular, and I just feel like now people are really leaning into it, and it's amazing to see the diversity of people protesting. To me, that is so satisfying to see. It's difficult. These are hard times, but I feel so optimistic about our future as artists, and I think that when Nina Simone hits the Broadway stages. Shall I say it again? There won't be there just well you're gonna have to run and get your tickets because this show it's a saving grace. It was my saving grace.
Well, you have often said that you feel like you were born to play Nina Simone, and all of us feel the same way. What is it about that you felt so connected with her?
Nina Simone had a lot to fight up. She was always swimming upstream, fighting a lot, and boy, oh boy, it didn't stop her. It only just made her stronger. And she was, called an angry Black woman. And throughout my entire career, I have worked on trying to quiet those voices within myself, coming to tables of collaboration, coming to tables where I'm the only Black woman in the room, grad school even. I went to Brandeis University, and I know the experiences that I had throughout my career, Broadway, regional theater, TV and film. I've always been that Black girl in the room playing nice, softening myself, because I'm a dark-skinned Black girl. Yep, that's right. Full lips, broad nose. Jamaican ancestors, we're strong people. And sometimes that can be not received the way you put everything out, And I think Nina Simone, she moved about this world with no apologies. And when I found Nina, in a sense, I found myself, because she was brave enough to say, this is who I am all the time. And yes, she dealt with her mental illness, but what I like to remember her most for is the fact that she had a bravado and a strength and an integrity that could not sit down, and refused to sit down. And to me, I want to be able to instill those type of beautiful assets, remind myself of it, and instill it into my son as he maneuvered through this world, which is a complicated place.
Well,
yeah, and I really praise Nina Simone for that.
Well, speaking of Nina Simone, we have a little surprise for you. We have someone who is a big fan of you and the show. He's also a very talented songwriter himself, composer, piano player, and singer. Please welcome. Oh, and he just so happens to be Nina Simone's grandson. Please welcome Alexander Simone.
Hey.
Yes, Alexander Simone.
Hey, Laiona.
Oh my gosh, that is my buddy.
I know he is.
Buddy.
Alexander, how are
Alexander?
You? I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from home. I'm calling from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
And how are
Yes.
you holding up during this time?
We holding up. We doing the best we can. It's real peaceful on this end. We just had a protest yesterday. It was very peaceful, and I'm proud of my city right now. So we're doing good. We're doing good on this end.
Great. Well, I believe the two of you were supposed to have your first collaboration that was cut short by the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me just say this about Alexander Simone. I'm sure many of you on this feed know this brother. So incredible, so dope and talented. I've been following him for a minute. He came to the show in New Jersey, and from then and then he invited me to a couple of his gigs that I was able to make it to. And both times, Alexander, when there's something about you when you step foot on stage, boy, you just bring so much life and so much the messaging. Your grandmother and an artist's duty is to reflect the times. Every time I see you, I say, there it is. There he goes. There it is. Spreading it and doing it. And I think that I just applaud you for that. I really do.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
And go ahead.
I don't. And it's funny you say that because I don't even be going around performing. I look at it, I'm going around just testifying.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just giving my testimony, you know what I mean? The stage ain't nothing but a big old testimony service to me, man. It's time for me to sing my song, man. I just want to sing my song.
It seems to me you are definitely carrying on your grandmother's legacy. Do you want to talk a little bit about the work you've been doing? It's all very, very exciting.
Yes, I'm actually in the process now of working on a project. Well, not working on a project. The project is done. It's been done. I'm sitting on a few projects right now, but this main project is called Truly. It's just Truly A. Simone, Truly Alexander Simone. And this project is not only supposed to, gonna help, launch all my social media efforts and all that. I'm not really big on the social media typing and all that, but I'm getting there now. We getting there now. Once my manager came to me, he was like, "Yo, man, you don't be on social media enough. You don't be on social media enough. You don't post enough." I'm like, "Oh my God, we need you to do some covers." No, organically. So then when I started paying attention, I seen what I had to do. So that's what I'm working on now. And Truly is basically it's a signs of the times. It's a reflection of my life. Me looking in the mirror, and it's also a reflection of exactly what's going on right now. What's going on right now. I actually dropped a single 2 weeks ago called Dosage, and it was just basically saying, how I've tried love over and over and over again, but now I need a prescription for love because I'm not getting it right. So somebody write me a prescription. But in the process, that's when all this George Floyd momentum started happening and things started picking up. And then watching my people unite, I had records that I wasn't ready to release yet, but in the moment it was like, wait, it's time. Yeah. So now we just end up going a whole nother way, and we getting ready to drop something. We actually getting ready to drop something on midnight. It's going to be like
that's what I wanted to mention. So tonight it's called Fight for Fight. It drops at midnight tonight, right?
It's called Fight the Fight.
Fight the Fight.
Fight the Fight.
We have a little clip of it that we can show, right? A little preview.
Yes.
Why don't we
show it? Yeah, show that first, then we'll talk about it.
An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. I think that is true of painters, sculptors, poets, musicians. As far as I'm concerned, it's their choice. But I choose to reflect.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. There's your grandmother's voice in there. Just what Laiona was talking about. So tell us a little bit about this.
Basically, Fight the Fight is, everybody's protesting right now. Everybody's trying to those that's standing for something are out here, you know, on the front lines. And basically, Fight the Fight is just making sure everybody fights the good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And what is the good fight? You know, some may ask. The good fight is, you know how Malcolm X preached, turn the other cheek. But sometimes you got to greet people with love. Sometimes you got to look past things. And if those that come together, if we come together with each other, that's the fight right there. Unity, love. You know what I'm saying? And if we stick together, big things happen. Look, we started out protesting.
Yes.
One dude got locked up. Then we kept protesting. Yeah. Now they locked all three of them up. Like, we getting results in our own little way. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what Fight the Fight is. It takes place in Asbury Park. This actually was done in less than 24 hours. Actually, we just had the protest yesterday, and you know, just got up there and led my people into a peaceful protest. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you know, and now we're gonna come out with this, and it's also a woe to the community of how we came together and how we did it, and now it just basically the legacy continues. I'm here doing the same thing. The good thing, the funny thing about Fight the Fight is the song was actually written 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 4 years ago. And I heard about the protest, the mayor called or whatever. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, this is it. I got to go out here. And we made this up. So hopefully y'all love it.
Well, yeah, I can't wait. Tonight at midnight, right?
Gosh. Tonight at midnight.
And speaking of fighting the good fight, both of you are just so, you know, are such trailblazers in what you do, and you do it with such love and grace. I am so honored to be in your presence and to have met you and worked with you. I just want to talk a little bit about one of the missions with Live and in Color is that our mission is to connect diverse communities to create new stage works. And for either of you can answer this, what does having a diverse working environment mean to you?
Now that I'm on the other side of the table as a creator, it's just the number one thing. It just has to happen. It has to be the thing. Yeah. You know, there's nothing like walking into the room and seeing a reflection of what the world really looks like. You know, and I can't even describe the feeling I had the very first day I walked into George Street and I saw women designers. Mm-hmm. You know, my costume designer, Ari, a Black woman who looked just like me. You know, that's rare. I mean, it's sad that it's rare, but it's rare. I'm used to walking into so many rooms where it's the complete opposite. You know, and I can't stand the phrase a token. You know, there's the token there. You know, you see a lot of Broadway shows and you have one or two in the show, or you know, or just across the board in art. And we're so past that. Right. We're so past that. Like, shame on us. We could do better. There's brilliant artists. I just think it takes effort, and I think people got to step outside of their comfort zone, and I dare you to do it because it is so satisfying when you do. Yeah. When you do. How was it for you, Deb?
It is the most important thing and the whole point of this company.
Oh my God. It feels good.
We actually have some questions that the audience asked. Let's see what they have to say. So Jacob Hoffman, what a lovely way to spend a cocktail hour. How has motherhood, for Laiona, how has motherhood changed / informed your process as an artist? Great question.
Mm-hmm. That is a great question. It's a learning experience every single day. The one thing that it has showed me was that I got to take time out for me. I got to be good. So I'm good for this little guy back here. And because he's that dose of love that I need every single day before I walk out the door. He reminds me that I got to pause and say a prayer before we walk out the door, because I'm not just living for myself anymore. There was a freedom when you're a single person maneuvering through the world, because you don't have to be responsible for someone else. But right now, I'm responsible for someone, this little guy. And I think the messaging behind everything that's happening is that we have to think outside of ourselves, be responsible for not just our families, but our community and our country, and show up and be responsible every single day. It takes work. Yeah. So it's rewarding in that way, and it influences my writing. It really does.
Yeah, I'm sure.
When I think about like how Black people are reflected in the stories that we're telling, who are these people, and not just making caricatures, but real people with real minds, hearts, real, blood. And I feel grateful that the voice is coming out of my vessel, because so often, there's non-Black people writing our stories. And so I really do believe it's important that we own our stories.
Absolutely. Let's see if there's another question for us. I saw you in Little Girl Blue. When can we see it again?
Well, first I got to get this concert back up with Mr. Alexander.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Alexander, we got to get back on that.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We stay ready, though.
Yes.
We stay ready.
We was born ready.
Born ready.
Well,
yeah,
we can definitely say you will be seeing Nina Simone again very soon.
Yeah, yes, we're looking at this very, very soon. Our world has changed a bit.
Yes.
Which feels like we're a little bit in limbo, but we're looking at early next year. So, if the gates all open up, you will definitely see. But follow me at Laiona Michelle on my Instagram, and also my website, laionamichelle.com. I'll definitely keep you posted.
Keep you updated, right? One more question. Alexander, what is the biggest lesson you learned from your I think your mother or your grandmother? Probably both.
My mother. The biggest lesson that I learned. I'll tell you both. The biggest lesson that I learned from my mother, actual mom, Lisa Simone, is patience. Learn patience. You know what I'm saying? I've learned how to be still and wait. I've learned how to change the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? We sometimes think of things, and things can bother us real quickly and all that, but I learned how to just change the channel. Bang, change the channel. Biggest thing I've learned from my grandmother is reflect the times. Stand up for something or fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's stand up and be present. Don't, you know what I mean? Make your voice heard. Yeah. So that's the biggest lesson I learned from my grandmother.
That's wonderful. I think we're all still learning that from your grandmother. We all have to continue to remember to do that. We are sort of running out of time. I could talk to you guys for hours and hours and hours. Let me say a couple things. Thank you, first of all, to our viewers for joining us. Tune in next week to be our guest at our regular scheduled time, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Next week's special guest will be Tony-nominated Broadway actress, choreographer, entrepreneur, the fabulous Brenda Braxton. So I'm excited to talk to her. And I just wanted to say, in this challenging time that we're all going through, if you are thinking about donating, please consider donating and supporting arts organizations that create platforms that showcase underrepresented voices. It's so important. And if you'd like to donate to us, you can, of course, go to our website, theaterincolor.org. Laiona and Alexander, thank you so much for joining me. I love you both. Do you have any parting words for our viewers?
Yes. One quick thing. Follow me at Alexander Simone Official on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook, Alexander Simone. And it's going to drop tonight, midnight. It's going to be on YouTube. Go to my YouTube page. It's going to be this, get my YouTube up. Follow my YouTube page. Subscribe. Alexander Simone, Alexander Simone. All right.
Laiona Michelle.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to be there at midnight too, Alexander.
All right. Thank you both. Drive safely, Laiona. Everyone be safe.
Thank you.
See you next week. Mwah.
Thanks.
Love and peace. Yes.
Seems like one long day. You're going through the motions, What does it matter? Does it matter anyway? Wishing things were different when the world is cold and gray. It's the same old song that's playing with the same old things to say. Someone should mix things up. Someone should take a chance. Someone should sing a new number. Someone should dance a new dance and change the story. Come on and change the scene. Choose the beginning, the ending in between. It's time to change the story. It's time to change the tune. See how the future looks bright. Change on the horizon. Coming soon. And suddenly you're not lonely. Burned out from 9 to 5. Suddenly you have purpose. You feel alive. Here everyone is welcome. Come in love and dignity. 'Cause when we come together, that's when we're truly free. Come on and mix things up. Come on and take a chance. Come on and sing a new number. Come on and dance. Let's change the story. Come on and change the scene. Change the beginning. The ending in between. It's time to change the story. Come on and change the tune. See how the future looks bright. Change